Hey, hello gamers, and welcome to another gaming news update. I'm here to do a bit of a roundup of some of the big news that has come out over the last few days. First things first, we might as well talk about probably the biggest talk right now is the fact that we now have some release dates announced for some Xbox games coming to PlayStation and Nintendo over the course of the next over the course of the next 2 months. We've got four great Xbox titles coming to Nintendo and Sony platforms, or PlayStation and the Switch platforms. So let's take a look at some of these releases, shall we? Well, Xbox actually wrote a quote today that says this: at Xbox, we're striving to create games that are inspire, entertaining, and connecting players from around the world. As publishers and platforms, we are committed to meeting players where they are, but by bringing more games to more people on more devices. And at the heart of all we do are players, the viable communities that they built around the games they love. And then, of course, they say that they're finally able to announce the four games that they're going to be bringing to these platforms. And it starts with Pandemont, which is from Subsidiary Entertainment. This game's going to be coming to PlayStation 4, PS5, and Nintendo Switch from tomorrow. So you'll be able to get this game from tomorrow if you're on PS4, PS5, or on the Switch. You can play this from tomorrow. By the way, they have also said that from tomorrow you'll be able to pre-order Hi-Fi Rush, which is going to be the next game to release, and it comes out on PS5 from the 19th of March. And you can pre-order from the PS5 storefront from tomorrow if you want to pre-order. And also you're going to be able to wish list Sea of Thieves and Grounded tomorrow on PlayStation. And speaking of Grounded, it'll be coming to PS4, PS5, and Nintendo Switch from the 16th of April, and they are offering cross-play support between Xbox, PlayStation, Switch, and PC when it does come to PlayStation and Switch in April, which is really great. So yes, cross-play between all those platforms launching on the 16th of April, along with the release on PS4, PS5, and the Switch for Grounded. And the same for Sea of Thieves, which is also going to be offering cross-play support from the 30th of April. They're going to be offering it between Xbox, PlayStation, and PC because obviously Sea of Thieves will be debuting on PS5 from April 30th. They haven't said when it's going to come to Switch yet. Obviously, that will be saved for a later date, and we should hopefully find out soon, later this year, when they're going to bring it to Switch. But nevertheless, it'll be cross-play between Xbox, PlayStation, and PC to allow players to experience the epic pirate adventures, which is great. And you can obviously wishlist the game on PlayStation from tomorrow, which is really, really cool. Yeah, this is really cool. Really cool to see that we're going to be getting all these games coming to PlayStation and Nintendo Switch over the next few months. We've got all these four games. So again, Pandemont, Hi-Fi Rush, Grounded, and Sea of Thieves. Obviously, Grounded and Sea of Thieves will be offering cross-play support this year between Xbox, PlayStation, Switch, and PC. And then, of course, at first, Sea of Thieves will be offering crossplay between Xbox, PlayStation, and PC. And then when Switch is available, then that will get added to the crossplay loop later, hopefully later this year. So these are the Xbox games you can look forward to over the next 2 months in terms of Xbox releases on PlayStation and Switch, which is very, very exciting. Now, as well as that, Elden Ring have just released the trailer for their upcoming DLC, which is called Shadow of the Aeon Tree. And it comes out on the 21st of June. It's currently priced at £35 or $40, and there is a bundle on the PlayStation on all the storefronts where you can get the game, the base game, and the DLC together as part of a bundle. And there's also going to be a physical collector's edition. You can also pre-order for this DLC release with a statue. I'll leave a link in the description if you want to learn more about that. As well as that, there is going to be an update for Spider-Man 2 coming on the 7th of March with new suits and a new game plus mode coming to Spider-Man 2 for those who want to check that out on the 7th of March. And by the way, the suits are going to be a part of a charity that they're raising money for Games Head charity as part of a sort of a, I guess you could say, a DLC pack that they're releasing for Spider-Man 2, which, by the way, will be available for free at a later date. And then, of course, for those of you who want to play the old school Star Wars Battlefronts, well, good news. Star Wars Battlefront Classic Collection is going to be coming on the 14th of March. It's going to be offering cross-play support, split-screen multiplayer, and you can play online with up to 64 players when it comes out. So yes, this game's going to be offering cross-play support when it releases between PlayStation, Switch, Xbox, etc., who are all going to be offering this game next month for those who want to relive the classic Star Wars Battlefront titles from the PlayStation 2 days or the classic Xbox days. You'll be able to play from the 14th of March, which is really cool. They're bringing these back into the limelight and offering crossplay support between them all, which is great. And then, of course, we got a new update for Little Devil Inside. I'll leave a link in the description if you want to see more details regarding this title that's starting to do the buzz again. Now, of course, the Helldiver director has actually come out and told people, if you can't, but if you're struggling with money to buy Helldivers 2, is to just wait for the survey issues to be sorted out, even though they're breaking records right now. Because, yes, they've broken another new record just recently. The game has managed to get over 457k players, which is probably the newest record you can see on Steam, which basically means that this game is pretty much number one on Steam at this point. It's killing it right now in terms of like player counts. It's just insane, and obviously it's because of that is why the surveys are always Cap City every night, and I've been struggling to get in, and even there's been times when. Well, luckily the matchmaking stuff has been sorted. It's just getting into the game that's been the real issue at the moment. But I'm sure like I said, Arrowhead, they'll sort it out. They'll get stuff sorted soon because they're very loyal to the players and they want people to experience their games. So they're going to do whatever they can to fix these issues so that more and more people can check their games out and be able to join in the fun of Helldivers 2. So yeah, hold on tight, people. I'm sure they'll get it sorted sooner rather than later. And speaking of Helldivers 2, they do have a new update where they're sorted out the matchmaking, which is obviously why the matchmaking is working as of late because they've been able to sort that out. Lady Gaga is also just announced a collaboration for Fortnite Festival, so you can now use her music as part of the festival mode on Fortnite if you want to honor the lady herself before she appears in the new Joker movie later this year. Which, yes, that's when you'll get to see her on our screens next. Also, there's been a lot of talks about the PS5 Pro apparently being the best place to play GTA 6, which is going to arrive later this year, and of course this new PS5 Pro is going to have all the technology you need to get the best experience of GTA 6, but I'm sure we'll hear more about it later this year when Sony reveals their finally officially announces the PS5 Pro, which they're due to release at the end of this year. Then we also got our first look at the live action Borderlands movie, which hits the theaters and cinemas 9th of August. For those who want to check out the Borderlands movie, yes, they just released a trailer for the movie, which showcases all the cast, including Jack Black as Claptrap, who's doing a fantastic job as the character. And I'm sure it's going to be a hell of a great film when it releases this August, which, by the way, a lot of gamers are hoping for Borderlands 4 to be announced before this movie releases, which we'll see if Gearbox are ready to give us another Borderlands experience, which, fingers crossed, here's hoping the new Borderlands comes to light before the movie hits. And speaking of Baldur's Gate 3, they did win the Game of the Year for DICE Awards, and they actually called out the state of the industry, where they made a statement that says this: all of the productions are wrong. It's scary. We are a preserving industry. We will preserve an industry. You will all find we will all find your place. You'll all be welcomed back with open arms. So yeah, I'm actually kind of glad that Michael Dorse took to the stage and actually called out the industry like that. I just love it. He's just literally saying like, look, he wants people to get their acknowledgement, which is great. And in fact, there's a video. I'll leave a link in the description if you want to see the video of him calling out the industry on what has happened recently with the layoffs. And I'm so glad that he's one of those people in the gaming industry who won't take no for an answer, and I love it. So yes, Baldur's Gate 3, so good to see the game's killing it right now. It's dominating Game of the Years, and it's just becoming a success story. We also had a new trailer for Planet Zoo Console Edition that comes out in a few weeks, which they showed off new footage of that for those who want to see the newest footage of Planet Zoo. There's also been a lot of investigating with Arrowhead. They're thinking about adding an AFK auto kit to Helldivers to stop those AFK farmers, which certainly understandable why they would add this, considering a lot of people tend to AFK the surveys lately. So yeah, you can definitely see why people are calling for this to happen in the game soon. And then as well as that, we also found out that Alan Wake 2 is getting a photo mode this spring for those who want to use the photo mode in the game. And in fact, there's even talks that a Bloodborne remake could be planned for PlayStation 6. As yes, the new hardware is definitely a part of what gives these remakes valuable. So there is talks now in terms of the creators of Borderlands that they feel very confident about Bloodborne potentially making a return to PlayStation with the next console generation, which is very interesting. So maybe a Bloodborne remake for PS6 is going to be on the horizon, and perhaps it will add more value considering it's going to get people to want to buy the PlayStation 6 if a Bloodborne remake happens. So what do you reckon? Do you reckon this is going to be a thing in a few in a few years' time? Let me know in the comment section what you make of this potential ordeal that Sony could potentially do with PlayStation 6. There's also 5 classic Xbox Rare classics that have come into Switch Online, which I'll leave a link in the description, which they haven't been made available on Xbox yet, but you can get them on Switch Online soon. Also, Limit Runs have just announced physical releases of 2 Xbox titles that are going to be available on PlayStation and Switch, which are Pandemons and Hi-Fi Rush. They are offering pre-orders for Pandemons physical copies from tomorrow until the 24th, and then they're going to let us know when you'll be able to pre-order Hi-Fi Rush physical copies, which will be hopefully announcing details soon. And in fact, speaking of Hi-Fi Rush, they actually said that they are going to be sharing some details soon for those who want to get a physical copy of Hi-Fi Rush if you're looking to buy a physical release of this Xbox title coming to other platforms. And speaking of Xbox, they have made reassurance that they're going to be bringing Activision Blizzard's full portfolio to Game Pass this year, including Call of Duty, of course. So we're going to be seeing more from Activision Blizzard on Game Pass this year alongside COD. We don't know when, but I'm sure they will let us know sooner rather than later when we're going to be able to see more of their titles come to Game Pass, which is going to be great. There's also been some Xbox games announced at the Nintendo Direct. I'll leave a link in the description if you want to see some of the games that was announced at the at last night's Nintendo Direct. And then on top of, and also Square Enix is warning players from other platforms like PlayStation and PC to not download the Final Fantasy XIV Xbox beta because it's not going to carry your progression until the full release on Xbox, which they haven't said when that's going to be, but I'm sure they'll let us know soon when Final Fantasy XIV's Xbox full version makes a debut on Xbox. And speaking of Microsoft, they've actually added a Just For You section on this week's sale where you can get 95% off recent releases as part of this special feature on Xbox Store, looking at Just For You offers, which is pretty nice. And then Kingmakers are making a debut to Xbox Series X and S very soon. So at least that will be something you can look forward to in 2024, that the Kingmakers are going to get a official Xbox Series X and S release, which is nice. And also that Xbox are not going to be ditching physical copies. So there will be physical copies coming from Xbox at some point during the year. They haven't said when, but they say they are definitely not ditching them, which is at least a good thing. And there's also a new update for Halo Infinite where they're promoting the firefight mode with 5 new maps in the rotation. But yeah, apart from that, really, that is pretty much all the... and also there's a new Fallout anthology that's come out on PC where they've got all 7 games, as well as the fact that they're releasing it on the 11th of April, just one day before the Amazon Fallout series comes out, which is on the 12th of April. So yeah, so the fact that this is coming out a day before and it's going to be available for PC only, definitely definitely interesting timing considering the TV series is just one day after this release. And there's going to be a collector's edition as well from Bethesda. That is pretty much it. And also we finally have the key art for Avowed, which is now a dynamic background. If you want to check out the new key art for Avowed coming later this year to Xbox Game Pass, etc. But with that said, thanks for watching. And speaking of, also finally, Sea of Thieves have actually updated their game because they're updating the code of the game and also the development tools for Sea of Thieves, and that's why it's over almost 100 gigabytes. Is because they've been upgrading the game with new development tools to make the game a little bit easier for the devs to make content, as well as adding crossplay for PlayStation and for PlayStation and Switch, which obviously PlayStation will be the first platform to join Sea of Thieves this year, and obviously Sea of Thieves will come out hopefully later in the year. But with that said, I hope you guys enjoyed, and I will catch you all in the next news update. So see you then.